It's Ken Harbaugh with the Midas Touch Network. This is how you fight back. Just watch.
They're worried, and so now look at what Greg Abbott is doing. He will not call the special election for our seat. Can you imagine that? Because he knows the Republicans are getting worried. He knows that we're standing up and organizing. He knows that we're knocking on their doorstep. And in a couple more months, we're going to take back the House and we're going to have power over this country. So where's the camera? And I want to look right at him. Greg Abbott, I got a message for you. Stop being a wuss. Call this special election right now, today, so we can get to Congress and clean up the mess you made in D.C. Because it's time that we say absolutely not.
That was Isaiah Martin running for the special election in Texas's 18th congressional district. I've been saying, as someone with roots in Texas, that change is coming. It's been red for so long, but the unchecked power of their Republican legislature and corrupt state house leaders is going to be their undoing. Because when you are complicit in the crashing of an economy, when you are aiding and abetting the persecution of immigrants, especially in a state like Texas, when you are leading the assault on the rights of women and minorities, you can only hide it for so long. And we have a new generation of leaders that is rising up, that is fighting back, that is demanding power be returned to the people. And one of them, who I am so excited to talk with today, is Isaiah Martin. Here's our conversation. Welcome to the Ken Harbaugh Show. My guest today is Isaiah Martin, running for the 18th Congressional District in Texas, a special election. I talk about Texas a lot on this show. As regulars will know, my folks settled down there 35 years ago. I have a love-hate relationship with the state, mostly love it, but it disappoints again and again and again. I have invested so much emotional energy into candidates there that I absolutely loved, and Texas seems to pull out the rug from us every single time. Give us some hope here, Isaiah. It's not as deep red as it seems every year, is it?
Absolutely not. I mean, first of all, I'm just so excited, Ken, to be on your show. A big fan of you, of course. And, look, Texas, we have some of the craziest government in the country. I think we all know that. But our people are great. We do have so many great people in our state. And that's why we're so eager for new leadership. I mean, we've lost, I think, about 134 straight statewide elections in the state of Texas. And now people are looking for something different because the same old isn't working. And so it's going to take new energy, new leadership to be able to get us into the next generation where we can really get things done.
Can you talk about that new leadership, especially that new energy? Because I tell you, we're in a time now where we need our Democratic leaders to perform. And I know that's sometimes a bad word in politics. Politics shouldn't be performative, but I'm ready to see some outrage. I'm ready to see some anger. I'm tired of the guests that I still get on this show who straighten their ties, right? And who make sure they look the part, and then they're just so anodyne. Like, where's the outrage? We are losing our democracy as we speak, and I just want our electeds to share that fear.
I mean, you're right. I mean, think about it. I mean, we just spent the last few months rightly calling Donald Trump a fascist. It's what he is. And so I think that we have to get the type of leadership that meets this moment. And so, look, you're going to see me in Washington not being a quiet person, certainly not just laying down to whatever Trump wants to do. We got to be animated. We got to call things as they are. This guy is literally destroying our country at its seams. It's destroying our economy. You looked at your 401ks lately. I mean, certainly they're not looking good. And all of the things that he promised, like $0 income taxes, $1 and something gas, $2 eggs, all of these grand promises that he made are not being fulfilled. So it's going to be up for us to continue to call that out, to call out how he is destroying our economy, destroying our government. And it's open for all of us to
see. There are some leaders who get it, who know what time it is, who get the plot, and who are expressing the outrage so many of us feel. It's not enough of them, right? Some of them need to move on to greener pastures and enjoy their retirement. But some of them do get it. And this is not an ageist thing. I think Bernie, as old as he is, he seems to get it. He's drawing crowds of thousands. So it's obvious that he is speaking to real fear among real people. Who are some of your political role models?
One of them is from my state. Jasmine Crockett has been doing such a good job of just like calling things as they are. Like nobody can tell Jasmine Crockett not to say how she feels, because ultimately she says what we all feel. So she's absolutely someone that I look up to. We've just seen so many members of Congress, on the House side that have been courageous. They've been taking courageous votes. But we're going to have to add more people to that are more vocal in this endeavor. I think Chris Murphy has done a solid job of really getting out there and calling things out as he sees it. It's going to be important, and we've got to bring that kind of leadership to D.C.
Hey, it's Ken Harbaugh. Check out the new trailer for Valor Media Network. Together, we can take on Joe Rogan and his Manosphere Bros and win. Click the link below to subscribe to Valor Media Network and share it with a friend. Thanks, Midas Mighty. We got this.
There's not enough men like me who do whatever they want.
Are you sick of it yet?
Those people need to be, when we take power, they need to be given the death penalty.
The anger.
I live like a capitalist every single day, Shank. I live as a capitalist.
The hate.
And we have a system of checks and balances. That's a good one. That's really funny. We do?
The idea that to be a man, you have to be a bully. Fuck you! We should be better than this.
Females don't have independent thought. They don't come up with anything.
Our kids deserve better than this.
It's like women want equal rights when it's convenient, but then they still want the door open for them.
So help us change it. Subscribe to Valor Media Network, where you can find shows on sports, men's health, and patriotism without the resentment and division.
True strength is about discipline, resilience, and service.
If you've wondered where all the positive role models are, especially for young men, check out Navy SEAL Dan Barkov and Commander Bobby Jones as they share stories of service and sacrifice.
Being good at being a man is about what you do for others and not what you do for yourself.
Listen to Jason Kander and co-hosts Ravi Gupta and Adisu Demisi give you the inside track on the politics of sports.
I just want to take back what I said about the Bills. No, because in all honesty, your team seems to have gotten the vaccination thing right. Okay. My team seems to be struggling with it.
These shows and many more from Valor Media Network prove that you don't have to be an asshole to connect with young men today. Subscribe to Valor Media Network today. We probably should have started with a little bit of your background, but tell us who you are, the short version, and what motivated you to apply for one of the worst jobs in America.
I mean, it's certainly a crazy job, to say the least. Look, I grew up in the city of Houston. This is the city that I went to elementary school, middle school, high school, college, work here. Like, I'm as Houston as it gets. And, ultimately I spent the beginning of my life, working a lot on sexual assault reform at the University of Houston, because I felt as if nobody was doing enough to address it. Somebody really close to me was assaulted. And it was through that work that I got involved. We started bringing $150,000+ of resources for survivors. And we got that going. We took on Governor Greg Abbott when he went and made voting lines 4 hours long to go vote in the presidential primaries back in 2020. And we then took him on, made our football stadium to be a polling site, and eventually reduced that down to 5 minutes. From there, I went and I spent 4 years every single weekend working with Congresswoman Sheila Jackson Lee right here in Houston. Some of your audience probably remember her as a big fighter who was always fighting and doing the things that was on our side. Through that, started off carrying her purse and ended up being one of her closest advisors, when she ended up passing away. But, ultimately, it's all of that stuff that's led me to this moment where we're at a credible moment of danger. We have to come up here with a sense of urgency, because I think the real state of Congress is not necessarily based on ideology. It's about fight versus flight. Are you willing to fight? Are you willing to stand up against these people who are destroying our great country? And for me, the answer is an obvious yes.
What are you hearing from the people around the district that you engage with, I'm sure 100 times a day, because I know how busy a campaign can be? What are they saying about what's happening in our country today?
Well, I mean, they were definitely worried. I mean, for them, everybody understands the massive cuts that are coming for Social Security, for Medicare, for Medicaid, for that. We have to be very strong on this in DC. We cannot allow any type of compromises on this. We have to tell the Republicans, hands off our stuff. No cuts to Medicare, no cuts to Medicaid, no cuts to Social Security. And we have to make sure that we're being very aggressive about that. The people in my district are very worried about these massive cuts for education. Like how Trump went and is working to get rid of the DOE and all of that work that he's doing. That's going to hurt so many schools in my district, schools like Yates and Wheatley, schools that have been such a big bedrock of my district. That's what Trump is looking to destroy. So that's why we cannot use this moment, this special election that's coming upon us, to just be waiting in the rings. We have to be aggressive. We have to be unapologetic and have some audacity to call this stuff out.
As a Texan, I think you can probably give our audience a vision of what's in store if we let this go on too long at the national level, because Texas politics is a dark vision of a future in which the Republicans get everything they want. I'll just scratch the surface with a conversation I've had many times with your comms director, who we adore here at Midas Touch, who has talked about the bounties on women for seeking healthcare, for seeking abortions. In Texas, you can make money off of turning them in and their Uber drivers and anybody who helps them, $10,000 per conviction. I mean, it really has become a draconian nightmare for many Texans. Can you tell us what happens in a state where extremist Republicans control everything?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Texas is a bedrock for so many of the worst aspects of the Republican imagination. We have stories like Kate Cox. We have stories like Amanda Zawarski, in which people that are in this state are constantly facing a battle where doctors are often told they can't be giving care to women when they're pregnant for pregnancy complications. I mean, that's absurd. That's absurd that you can have literal people that want to have families in this state that are trying to do everything they can, and have some bald dude in a state capitol come up to them and say, you can't get treated for a pregnancy complication. That's real life. I live in a state in which Greg Abbott took over our school district, the Houston Independent School District. He removed duly elected school board members that were elected by the people of the city of Houston. He got rid of them all. He replaced them with a bunch of Republican cronies that are basically Moms for Liberty light. They're on the school board right now telling us what books we can read, turning our libraries into detention centers effectively for children. That's Texas right now. And so I'm running for Congress because if we don't have a strong sense of federal government to come in here and be a check on the worst aspects of humanity, then that's unacceptable. And so we have to be doing everything that we can on the federal level to go into states like Texas, go into states like mine, and really be a check on these people who are just totally set on destroying our country and our way of life.
Where can people learn more? Where can they help out?
Absolutely. You can go to isaiahmartin.org. You can go on there. You can sign up to volunteer. You can chip in whatever you can. It's absolutely there. ISAIAHMARTIN.org is where you can find me.
Awesome. We'll put a link in the show notes. Thank you, Isaiah. And give your comms director a big hug. We love her.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
See ya.